In the history of aviation, some stories are remembered for their triumphs, others for their tragedies. But few disasters have been as devastating, as shocking, and as catastrophic as what unfolded in the skies above the United States on March 27, 1977. This is the story of the deadliest aviation accident in U.S. history, a tragedy that changed the way we view aviation safety forever. It begins in a small city on the Canary Islands, at an airport that ironically was far from a normal destination for a tragic story. March 27, 1977. Two planes, a KLM 747 and a Pan Am 747, were about to take off from Tenerife Airport, located in the Canary Islands. Both planes were en route to the same destination, Gran Canaria, but fate would intervene and the unthinkable would happen. The chaos began with a series of miscommunications. Dense fog covered the airport. Visibility was close to zero. Air traffic control was overwhelmed, and confusion grew as pilots tried to navigate through the heavy mist. Two giant 747s, with over 500 souls on board, were taxiing down the same runway, unaware of the other's presence. The KLM aircraft was preparing for takeoff, while the Pan Am flight was still making its way down the tarmac, unaware of the KLM's intentions. What happened next is a nightmare that no one on that runway could have ever predicted. The KLM captain, eager to depart, misunderstood air traffic control's instructions. As he began his takeoff roll, the fog and miscommunication masked the Pan Am plane's position. The two aircraft, both massive, were now heading toward each other, on a single runway. At 5:06 p.m., in a blur of confusion and chaos, the unimaginable occurred. The KLM 747, now accelerating for takeoff, collided with the Pan Am 747, which was still attempting to turn around on the runway. The impact was catastrophic. The KLM aircraft's fuselage exploded upon contact. The Pan Am plane, though slower, was engulfed in flames. Within seconds, the runway became a fiery inferno, claiming the lives of 583 people. It remains, to this day, the deadliest aviation disaster in U.S. history. But it wasn't just the tragedy of the lives lost. It was the layers of confusion, the mistakes, and the lessons that came from it. Could have been a routine takeoff became a moment of horror because of a breakdown in communication, human error, and a series of unfortunate events. And while the world mourned the lives lost, the aviation industry was forced to confront a painful truth. Something had to change. In the aftermath, the aviation world took a hard look at itself. One of the key lessons, the importance of clear and assertive communication between flight crews and air traffic control. The Tenerife disaster brought about a revolution in aviation communication. Pilots and air traffic controllers learned that what mattered most wasn't just what you said, but how you said it. The concept of cockpit resource management was born. Today, the legacy of that disaster is seen in every flight in the way pilots communicate, the way air traffic control is structured, and the way safety is always the top priority. While the tragedy of March 27, 1977 will never be forgotten, its lessons have helped shape a safer world of aviation for all of us. And though we cannot undo the past, we can honor those lost by ensuring their sacrifice was not in vain. This was the story of the most dangerous aviation disaster in U.S. history. Subscribe for more true stories of aviation history.